If you've ever thought, why does this place make me feel broke, even when I'm not? You're my people. Because this video isn't a dunk on poor cities. It's about a specific kind of everyday ugliness, patchwork development, privatized public life, and the vibe of permanent in-between. Like the city is waiting to become something else, but never does. We're counting down 10 places where the most common feeling isn't danger or excitement, it's disorientation. And we'll show the design choices that created it. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Number 1, Jackson. Jackson can turn your whole social life into a to-do list. Gas station coffee, drive-thru food, park, grab the thing, leave, and somehow that becomes the public realm. On paper, the pitch is clean. You can rent or buy more space. You can get across town fast. Parking is rarely the battle. Life feels practical, like you're finally not paying extra just to exist. But here's the catch. The city experience lives inside car-only corridors. Meeting a friend isn't walk over. It's texts, timing, and a route plan like you're coordinating pickups at an airport. Wide arterials slice everything up, neighborhoods don't stitch together, and old retail boxes sit like abandoned movie sets. When budgets get weird and jurisdictions don't play nice, sidewalks, lighting, and basic upkeep start feeling optional. So you get logistics without home. The reliable investment is asphalt and striping. That's not a city. That's a routing system with houses attached. Number 2, Stockton. Stockton has water and port history and the bones of a real city. So why does it still feel like you live behind a loading dock? It looks functional. A major logistics hub with a working port, highways that get you moving, big box convenience, and a downtown grid that should make basic life easy. But here's the catch. A lot of the city's value gets engineered for freight and throughput, not for you trying to run a normal Tuesday without turning it into a route plan. Warehouses and freight corridors pull land uses toward fenced edges and buffer zones, and the vibe follows. You get blank walls, giant lots, and roads that act like dividers between neighborhoods, not connectors. When crossing an arterial feels hostile, you stop improvising. No quick pop-in, no wandering, no casual, let's walk there. Stockton's lesson: optimize for goods, and people get handled the same way. Number 3, Albuquerque. Albuquerque sells you freedom with big skies and wide roads, and you buy it. Until you realize the space is mostly just empty buffer, not a place you'd ever choose to be. Visitors love the light, the mountains, the local identity, and those neighborhoods that actually feel like they belong to humans. You can find real character. You can find real flavor. You can find real pride. But here's the catch. The in-between parts feel designed for passing through. Long blocks, fast stroads, commercial strips where walking feels like you're interrupting traffic's day. Mid-century growth plus arterial retail makes the city readable only from inside a car. On foot, the cues are driveways and signs, not doors and corners that pull you forward. And when streets run like mini highways, small mistakes get expensive, and even a perfect weather day feels tense. A city isn't views. It's the 15-minute stretch to your life. Number 4, Shreveport. Shreveport can feel like a city that put its best outfit on the riverfront and left the rest of the house in sweatpants. The promise sounds solid. You've got entertainment districts, highways that get you around fast, housing that doesn't demand a second job, and that regional hub energy where errands and appointments actually pencil out. But here's the catch. When the city bets hard on a few destination nodes, the stuff between them becomes filler. Wide roads, vacant parcels, aging strip centers. You're always traveling through, not arriving anywhere. This is the object over fabric problem. You can drop a casino or a complex like a big appliance in a kitchen, but if the blocks don't connect, if storefronts don't line up, it stays an island. Tourism design loves control, parking, security, managed entrances. Living there, that control reads as dead air. Residents get the unedited footage. Number 5, Bakersfield. Bakersfield looks like it's always under construction. Lanes widen, ramps multiply, a new pad gets poured. And somehow the place still feels unfinished. You get California jobs without California prices. Newer subdivisions, bigger lots, and driving is straightforward. You're not fighting for a parking spot like it's a sporting event. But here's the catch. Daily life gets shaped by industrial edges, heat, and road-first design. So outside feels like a work zone you commute through, not a shared living room you hang out in. The land use texture leans distribution, energy, ag, and big arterials. Subdivisions sit far from anything resembling a main street. And when walking feels unsafe or pointless, you pay a quiet tax in isolation. A lot of the functional build is blank boxes, frontage roads, and signage soup. It's like living in the back hallway of a big store. Number 6, Flint. Flint is proof a city can run fine for decades and still be fragile at the core. You can have schedules, paychecks, routines, and a whole housing stock built to match it, and still be one bad turn away from freefall. The original deal was simple. Steady jobs, decent wages, mass production, and neighborhoods designed around workers getting up, getting to the plant, and getting home. It looked like stability because it worked like a machine. But here's the catch. When the city's money and layout assume one engine forever, the public realm becomes a dependent. When that engine slows, streets, parks, lights, and basic fixes don't just decline, they break. Disinvestment shows up as gaps. Vacant lots interrupt blocks. Buildings stop framing sidewalks. Routes that should feel continuous start feeling like detours around emptiness. Here's the thing. That's a planning failure. A livable city still functions when nothing goes right. Number 7, El Paso. El Paso can feel split-brained. One side is tight neighborhoods and real street life, and the other side is pure highway math. The city's got real culture. You feel it in the food, the historic pockets, the way families actually use streets and parks like they expect to see people they know. Developers can't prefab that. It's earned. But here's the catch. Border infrastructure and security-era planning can warp the public realm. Big corridors, long fences, weird gaps, and movement patterns tuned for clearance and control create dead zones, right, where you'd expect continuity. So you get 2 rule books. Humans want short blocks, shade, mixed use, and a reason to linger. Systems want visibility, throughput, and predictable flows. When systems win, the street feels supervised. And then walking feels like an exception you have to justify, not a default. Number 8, Atlantic City. Atlantic City has one of the most iconic public spaces in America, and it still manages to feel weirdly private. On the surface, it's simple. Boardwalk energy, casinos, beach, crowds, the whole weekend getaway machine. The city knows how to host people who don't live there. But here's the catch. The casino era didn't just chase entertainment money, it rewired the street logic. You don't move through a town so much as bounce between controlled interiors, with the outdoors treated like leftover hallway space. That's the indoor city problem. Sky bridges, blank facades, parking structures, and security-first layouts drain oxygen from normal blocks. The public realm turns into a connector tunnel from one paywalled zone to the next, like an airport where every gate is trying to upsell you. And residents? Often treated like support staff. Schools, groceries, parks, and permanent homes for families lose out to spectacle. A civic heart can't be paywalled. Number 9, Tucson. Tucson sells you sunshine. Then you try to walk somewhere and realize the city didn't include shade in the contract. The appeal is real. Mountains on the edge of town, desert beauty, a laid-back pace, and pockets with actual personality where you can tell locals fought to keep it human. But here's the catch. Sprawl in extreme heat hits different. Long distances plus wide, fast roads turn basic movement into a heat management problem, so you drive even for trips that feel ridiculous. And when streets chase speed and lane counts, you lose the stuff that makes walking survivable. Tree canopy gets treated like a nice-to-have. Crosswalk waits feel like penalties, and transit starts to feel like you're signing up for discomfort. Tucson even has a shade master plan, because shade isn't cute. It's infrastructure. If you can't use the public realm half the year, it's just the space between parking lots. Number 10, Rockford. Rockford's weirdest problem isn't what's there. It's what's missing. Whole stretches that feel erased, like someone deleted the middle of the sentence and hit save. From the outside, it checks the boxes. Mid-sized, highways, shopping, older neighborhoods with good bones, and that affordable within reach of Chicago-adjacent money. Promise that makes Zillow feel like a prank. But here's the catch. Post-industrial decline doesn't just lower paychecks. It punches holes in the city's fabric. Vacant lots and half-occupied corridors kill the feeling of continuity, even at noon on a sunny day. So here's the thing. None of these places feel off because they're bad. They feel off because they got redesigned to move cars, process workers, and monetize private interiors, while the public realm became leftover space. A future city is where your kid walks, without a plan,